a lot. These aren't the Sunday night plan calls, the Sunday night plan that these calls are promoting. The plan that it's promoting is not for everyone, and that's okay. And we all might fall short, and we all might not make our goals. These calls, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, are still going to be our calls to talk about our plan of action, to kind of hold ourselves accountable, some activity accountability. And so, but we're also going to support that Sunday night call to say, hey, who's running? Who has a big goal to get there too, to get promo qualified by Sunday? And so with that said, Scott and I were talking and kind of a little bit more, bringing these calls in a little bit more game plan, still keeping it to where people need that to need some coaching. I know I do, but keeping it a little more simplified, if you will, keeping it a little more streamlined, a little more action driven, if that makes sense. And so we're excited about that. So I know a lot of you are on the call last night, that leadership call, and I heard a lot of your voices, as well as my own, to say, yes, I will be promo qualified by Sunday. And so we need to really focus on that, and we need to be the team that produces some results. And so that's what we want to do, is really be an activity accountability producing results, if that makes sense. So how does that happen? How does that look? And so what I was thinking is, I need to get back up and running and really pushing forward. And so my plan of action, and I really encourage you guys to do this, is to focus on getting those 2 enrollments, the activity that's going to focus on that. And Scott's going to go over that with us in his amazing coaching way. But I just want to encourage you and give you some thoughts on that and some ideas and some tips on how that's going to look. These are the activities I'm going to do. And so I would encourage you all as well. And so what I would do is I would start this week, today, with my warm market. Those, go back to kind of where you were in the start of your business, or when you had a really good run in your business, and start with your warm market. Start with those people, that you can kind of circle back around, those people you've already talked to about Melaleuca, perhaps, people that have already seen an overview, people you've already been dripping on. Now it's time to kind of pour the faucet on a little heavier, because we do have these goals. We did make this commitment. I know last year after convention, though I didn't go last year due to some circumstances, I made that commitment that weekend that I was going to advance. And I did consistently for several months after convention, because I made that commitment to myself. I made that commitment. I said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to draw the line in the sand, and I'm going to go for it. And so I think last year, that's when I had, the biggest and most explosive growth, is because I just made that commitment to it. And so what I would advise for this week, to get those 2 and get yourself promo qualified, circle back around to everyone you've ever spoken to about Melaleuca. Get your warm market going. Get your list out of people you can call, friends, family, and really ask that favor. That's how I got 15 people in 3 days. I just went through my warm market and I said, hey, I'm really excited about Melaleuca. Even if you've already talked to them about Melaleuca, just say, I'm really excited what's happening right now. It is a new company from when I talked to you a year ago or 5 months ago, or whenever you talk to that person, and just say, it's a new company. It's getting more streamlined. It's getting more simplified. There's a more approachable way to, to talk to people about this company. Throw out words like, it's like Amazon Prime, it's referral marketing, it's like Ebates, whatever you have to say. My favorite is the, think Amazon Prime delivery, Costco type of shopping at Target, Walmart, Whole Food Market quality products at Walmart, Target pricing. You know, however you want to, you know, streamline that and make it sound more flowing, and really, really just get down and dirty a little bit, you know, with those people that you've already talked to about Melaleuca. I know, you know, I built a pretty good customer base from social media, from my different groups that I'm involved in social media. And so I need to go back and look in those groups. It's you know, a stay-at-home homeschool mom groups, and constantly people are asking, hey, do any of you moms out there know of a great way to make an income while staying at home? I know. And so that's how I built, you know, a really strong customer base, was going in those Facebook groups. So being really, really intentional in your groups. Think about some of the groups you might want to join that might lead into that. You know, a lot of these groups have very strict rules, and some of them I've been, you know, my posts have been deleted, you know, because I've said stuff. And so they're like, you can't advertise, you can't sell anything. I'm like, I'm not selling anything. The mom asked how to make money and I'm telling her, you know, but anyway. So, so I just have to take it, you know, always take it private, always take it personal messaging. And if you absolutely can, if it's people you don't know, get their phone numbers, you know, get on the phone with them. So that's my advice. That's what, you know, we've got these goals to get promo qualified, to get our 2 by Sunday. Circle back around, revisit your warm markets, reintroduce people to Melaleuca, because, you know, they don't know what you don't tell them. So if it's someone on your list, I'm talking to myself, someone on your warm market list that you've been wanting to ask, they still don't know about Melaleuca because you haven't told them. But like I said, you know, we're here, I'm in North Florida, I'm 4 hours away from Atlanta. You know, eventually Jefferson Green's group is going to leak down here. You know what I'm saying? So if I don't tell somebody about Melaleuca, somebody else for sure 100% will. So with that said, you know, I just want to encourage you, as I'm encouraging myself, get that list out. That is your inventory. No list, no business. Warm market, revisit, circle around. And like I always say, if someone is like a no thank you, oh, I don't know, I just can't do that, always ask. You know, I always say there's a magic question, but then there's a second magic question. Would you mind me asking you why not? And you wait. And usually they don't really have an answer. They're just trying to tell you something based on their own mindset and their own belief system. And, you know, oh, I don't think I can do something like that. Would you mind me asking something like what? You don't want to do something like what? And so then you talk them through. You keep the conversation going. The more you keep the conversation going, the more likely you can, you know, there's still a possibility. There's still a potential customer. Because a no, you know, that's my favorite saying, a no, an N-O, is just them saying, I don't know, K-N-O-W. I don't know enough of what you're talking about. And once you talk them through their reservation, usually, you know, you can put them at ease. You know, I don't want to commit to the 35-point product, whatever, 35-point product commitment a month. Oh, me neither. That's why I make my list all month, and before I know it, I have 150 points. Oh, you know, I'm like, it's that easy. Just stop, put it in your cart, and when you're ready for your month, it's going to be more than 35 points. I promise you. You know, whatever you need to say to ease their doubts, if that makes sense. All right, well, anything else? Anything you want to add? And I know he's going to do the roll call and get everybody thinking and get our brains going on how we can make this happen this week, especially from today to Wednesday. Scott Bailey.
Kathleen, that was great. Before we turn a corner, I heard it, but it didn't quite register. And frankly, I think it's worth repeating. The second qualifying question that you asked, would you say that again? Because I wrote something down, but then as I read what I wrote, it's like, no, that ain't what she said.
Right.
Do you recall what that second question was? Yeah.
Yeah, I always ask them, the qualifying question is, do you shop online or have you ever heard of Melaleuca? And they're, anytime I'm going through the process, introducing them, and I'm waiting for their answer, the ultimate answer is asking them if they want to join.
Hey guys, if you can take a second and just look at your phones for just a moment or so and hit mute. I think what we're about to hear is going to be critical information. If you can just pause for just a moment or so and just look at your phone and hit mute, that would be awesome.
I think maybe Diana is on.
Here.
Hey guys, can you hear me? Can you hear my voice? If you can hear my voice, would you take a moment and just look at your phone for a quick second and hit mute so we don't have to mute everybody out? I'd like to be able to keep it free flowing, but if you can just look at your phone for a moment or so and just hit mute on there, that would be awesome.
Okay. So the question I always ask is if there's any kind of a no or any kind of a decision made before I know why they've made their decision of no. I always ask, would you mind me asking why not? Or would you mind if I asked what you don't want to commit to? Or what, so whatever they say, no, I'm not interested. Would you mind me asking what doesn't interest you? Just so I know, and so I can make sure you have the information that you need to make that decision. And so I always go back, I always, because I want to know, it helps me with my approach. Maybe I didn't give them enough information to make a good decision, and so if it's something they say, well, I just don't know if I'll use those products. I'm so sorry I didn't let you know that there's 6 shopping aisles. There are 6 aisles in the store that I don't go down. Or I'm sorry, maybe I didn't, talk enough about the marketplace and how, do you shop at Target and Walmart? Oh yeah. Well, they have a shopping portal where if you shop through your Melaleuca membership site, you can access these companies that you shop at all the time, and you can get loyalty shopping dollars back to shop at Melaleuca for, all these products that you're bringing into your home anyway. So yeah, that's what I usually do. And I do it, if I'm having a conversation through Messenger, I even still ask them then, and a lot of times, like Socrates was saying, sometimes do that on on a call. I think you're saying. I can't really check it. But yeah, as much as I want to, and my customer base, the people that I'm reaching out to and I'm enrolling in, my customers are stay-at-home homeschooling moms. I'm in a homeschooling mom group of large families. So a lot of these moms have 5, 6, 7, 10, 12 kids. And so, phone calls are great. And I've had a lot of phone calls with kids and in the middle of, moms trying to do their thing, but sometimes that's just not feasible. Sometimes it's not the perfect scenario to be able to pick up a phone. So I always, even if it's through Messenger, even if it's through texting or whatever, I always ask them that question, once they give me their response to inviting them to have a membership, enrolling. Once they say no, then I ask the question. I whatever they're saying no to, I'm giving the information so that no longer is a reason why they would say no, if that makes sense.
Well, that's perfect. Because I hear hesitation, I hear no, I hear not right now, I hear all kinds of things often. And the follow-up question of, may I ask, why not? Being the premise or the root of whatever it is that follow-up question will be from yourself, I think is a very powerful thing. That's That's awesome. I
Right.
appreciate you sharing that. So turning a corner, one of the things that we had talked about last night was the last 3 parts of opening the month. We'll refer to it perhaps in this call as opening the week. And those 3 things, and I'm going to rattle them off real quick, and then I'm going to come back and unpack it for what we're going to get accomplished this morning. It's setting your goals, determining who you're going to run, and that might be yourself, and then forcing the calendar. As it relates to setting goals, one of the things that I do on a regular basis is track my activity. So I keep myself accountable to my own activity projections. Okay, so for example, some of the questions that I ask myself before I start or launch forward is how many new people do I want to reach out to, meaning that I'm calling or emailing or messaging or sending a smoke signal with the intent to ask the question, but I haven't yet asked the question. So I have a number, a projection that I'm aiming for new people that I want to start the stream of dialogue with, not to be confused with how many people have I actually asked the qualifying question. And in this case, for most of us, it's do you shop online or have you heard of Melaleuca? So the 2 numbers that I track on my own side, okay, are how many new people am I going to start to reach out to, and then how many people have I actually asked the question, all right? And so what I don't want to do in my own mind is get confused with activity and progress, okay? If I keep reaching out to the same people, then I'm not really making any progress. What I want to do is to set a new goal each day, each week, each month for how many new people I'm going to put into the funnel. And then from that number, how many people I'm actually going to ask the question, what are your thoughts about online shopping, or have you heard of Melaleuca? Okay. The next thing that I then track, and again, we're going to go through this for everybody. What I want you guys to think about, if you're willing to participate in this, is coming up with your own projection for the next 2 days. Okay. We're going to meet back here at 7:30 Eastern on Wednesday. So the number that I would like you to think about is how many new folks am I planning on reaching out to? Okay. How many new folks am I planning on, or even old folks? All right. When I say old folks, as Kathleen's been talking about, people that may have said no in the past, but it's time to ask again. Okay. New timing allows for a new decision. All right. New circumstances allows for a new decision. It's the old question, but their life has changed from the last time that we've approached them to today. And that could even be as far back as Monday. Okay. Let alone last year, last month. All right. So the idea is, how many people are you going to add to your list? How many folks are you planning on reaching out to? And then, heck or high water, how many people will I actually ask? Okay. And then you can have that bottom line number. It's not going to be any less than this number. And then you can have a stretch goal. Okay. For those of us that want to shoot for a higher goal. But there's a bottom line number, and there's something powerful about saying, I'm committing to this number myself, I'm committing to this number. And that number can be either one. It can be how many new folks am I going to reach out to, or how many folks am I actually going to ask? You determine what you want to do, but I'm going to ask you for both of those numbers. And then the third number I'm going to ask you for is, how many overviews are you planning to do or to conduct or to lead, again, between now and Wednesday morning. So we've got a little less than 48 hours, okay, before we reconnect here. These could be overviews that you've already got scheduled on your planner. These could be from the results of asking the question, are you open? Okay, have you ever heard of Melaleuca? I've got some more information. Let's go ahead and get you on an overview. All right, so that could be, again, a bottom line number that you've already got scheduled, or it could be a projection of what you anticipate. But I'm going to ask you what that third number is. So the first one is, how many new folks do I plan on reaching out to start the dialogue? Whether I get them or not, I'm going to leave a voicemail, I'm going to send a message or what have you. And then how many do I really feel that I can qualify? Ask the question. And then how many overviews do I feel I'm going to do in the next 24 to 48 hours? Okay, those are the 3 numbers. Now, outside of that, we can have a production projection. We can't really control who's going to say yes. We can't really control who says, yes, I'll be a customer. I'll be a 1 or a 2 or a 3. But based on our activity, we can have a projection. Okay. And I'll give you an example of what I'm doing right now, and I'll show you what my numbers are and what my numbers will be. All right. Because I track these things. So I'm going to share with you what my numbers have been over the past 72 hours. And I'm also going to share with you what my projection is for the next 48 hours. All right. But those are the 4 numbers that I would like you guys to actually think about, so that when we're called out, the answer would be something like, for example, here are mine. If we were talking about history, I reached out to 16 people over the weekend. Okay. Interestingly, I was only able to connect with one. Now, when I say I was only able to connect with one, I only had a conversation where I was able to ask the question, okay, have you heard of Melaleuca, with one person? And his response was very interesting. Oh yeah, I make about $3,500 a month. Well, I used to, okay, but I decided to do something else. He was with those guys for 2 or 3 years, the way he described it, still gets the products, all right, but moved on to something else with his son, a conventional style business, and they decided to just let their Melaleuca business go. And he said, interestingly, it took a long time for that residual to just peter off. It took like 3 or 4 years for it to just go down to nothing. But that was a very interesting experience for him, and it was a very interesting comment for me, okay? And he wasn't interested in coming back in because he was already getting the products. He was already a customer, but he'd had a business that kind of went up and it did what it did. So for me, it was 16 and 1, okay? I had 0 overviews and I had 0 enrollments. Between now and the next 24 to 48 hours, today and tomorrow, I'm planning on reaching out to 20 folks. I've already got 2 folks that I've texted where we've set up a time to connect, one for tomorrow, one for today, one for tomorrow. So bottom line, I'm going to ask 2 folks, but on the 16 that I've got in motion and the 20 that I plan on having in motion, I'm planning on asking 6 people over the next 2 days, okay, today and tomorrow. And I've already got 1 overview scheduled. I'm planning on having 3, and I don't have any enrollments this morning, but I'm planning on having at least 1 in the next 48 hours. So my numbers would be 20, planning on reaching 20, 6, I'm planning on asking 6, 1 to 3. 1 to 3 overviews. I've got 1 on the books and I'm planning on having 3. And my production projection is 1. Okay, I'm planning on having 1 sign up, 1 enrollment in the next 48 hours. Hopefully this is making sense. So swinging around, summarizing very quickly, we're determining who we're running, which is ourselves in this particular case. We're setting our own goal. Okay, number 3, we're setting a goal. All right, it's an activity goal with a projected production goal. All right, so it's activity accountability and production projection, and then followed by, so I'm determining my goal, then I'm determining who I'm running, and again, in this case is myself, number 4, and then number 5, I'm forcing the calendar. What does that mean? That means that I've got in my planner time that is dedicated to what? Reaching out to these folks, asking these folks, the overview. Okay, it's in my planner. It's black and white. If I were to give you a screenshot of my planner, you would say, he's got an hour blocked out there to reach out to folks. He's got the hour blocked off there for the overview. Okay, he's got an hour blocked out over there to follow through and reach out to folks. Okay, and I can see he's got an hour and a half blocked over there, and he's only got a half hour over here. But that was a half hour of space that I found on my planner that I could dedicate to moving things forward. All right, so I actually studied my planner. Said, when am I going to church? When am I going to the gym? What are my obligations for my family? You know, is there anything else that I need to be focused on? I fill those things in, and then I look at the empty spaces and I determine, do I need a nap? Do I need to eat? I mean, what else is going on in my life? Okay. And then I take those blank spaces and I actually put in there work. And so that's what that means. And then I set my alarm. Okay, I've got a little timer thing with a little, and I set the alarm. Just as I'm going to set my alarm to go get my daughter, I'm going to set my alarm to remind myself. I'm going to give myself 9 minutes to get from what I'm doing into what I want to do, meaning that the snooze thing on here is 9 minutes. Okay, so when I say I want to be somewhere at 2 or start something at 2, I'm setting the alarm for 1:50, which means when that alarm goes off, that's my cue, because I've trained myself. That's my cue to look at my planner and say, what is it that I've got scheduled at 2 o'clock? I'm in the middle of something. I'm doing something. I'm living my life, okay? But I want to know, what is it that I've told myself is important enough to put in my planner and then set a reminder so that when that reminder goes off at 1:50 p.m., that is my cue as a self-disciplined person to look at my planner and say, what am I got scheduled for 2 o'clock? And it says, call so-and-so. So I've got now 9 minutes. I hit snooze. I've got 9 minutes to transition from what I'm doing. Let me save it. Let me finish my thought. Let me leave the bread trail crumb so that I can go back to that quickly. It's not like I'm just being yanked out of something and all of a sudden dropped into something. I've given myself a buffer. And that buffer for me is 9 minutes. Okay. So I then transition out of what I'm doing. I look at the notes for the call that I'm about to do. I pull together what I need so that I'm prepared. I'm ready to go. And when that clock hits again, I've got 1 minute to stop, pull up the telephone number, prepare it, get my earbuds in, get focused, get settled, get my water, and hit dial, and I'm on time for my 2 o'clock meeting. But I'm prepared, I'm set, I'm ready. And I do the same thing with, this is the work that I'm about to do. I've got 9 minutes from whatever I'm doing to sit down, gather myself together, Where's my list? Where's my script? Where's my, whatever it is that I need to do what it is that I've set aside for that block of time. I'm now preparing myself. I'm pulling myself in. Okay, don't leave. Don't bother daddy. He's doing his thing here now. And the girls know we're in agreement. This is a family thing. This is a family ordeal. We're all moving together. Okay. I don't bother them when they're doing their homework. They don't bother me when I'm doing my work. Well, I don't bother them when they're doing their homework. Okay. We'll just leave it at that. Right? But we have this thing where we're moving together. Okay. And we've worked out the details to be able to execute with excellence. And so I've determined what my goals are. I've set aside the time. I've forced my own calendar. Okay. And then I just walk it out. Now it's just a matter of walking it out. It's relatively easy. All the hard work has been done. Hopefully that helps. I'm going to turn it back over to you, Kathleen.
Excellent, excellent. I was taking notes because that's one of my biggest things. I determined that my biggest excuses will become my why. And so when I would say, oh my gosh, my kids, I don't have time, and I've blocked out this time, and now I can't do this, and my hour is gone. Wait a minute. Okay, that needs to be my why. My kids now are my biggest why, and I did, we have sat down as a family and said, this is what we want. These are our goals. And last year, the goal was we're going to have Disney passes because of, the work I put in, the work that mommy's put in, and the fruit is here. We now have Disney passes. We're able to go to Disney because of the work I put in last year and the residual that I'm continuing, to benefit from that. So that is huge, is to get the people around you in agreement. It's kind of like when we go on a diet and we say to people, this is what I'm doing, don't ask me to go to Krispy Kreme, or whatever. I need your support in this. This is that kind of commitment, because Scott, you're talking about a hardcore commitment to your calendar, and that's what it takes. That's what a lot of these leaders are talking about, is committing to that calendar, forcing that calendar, forcing it, forcing to stay within the restrictions of your allotted time to work. And that's always my biggest thing. And so thank you for that. You even got it down to the minute. I'm like, man, I got some tightening up to do on my calendar. And I think we all do. I think we can all agree, put your hand up like, yeah, we need to tighten it up, guys. We got to tighten this calendar up, because we're very busy. All of us are busy. I mean, I look at your faces, people are driving, people are working, people are running, we're all busy people. Yes. So that's going to be people's biggest excuse. I don't have time for this. Great. Me neither. You will not believe these calls that we have that teach us how to have, to commit to our calendars, to really force our calendars. Well, what does that mean? Got to be on the calls, and you got to be enrolled and be shopping to get on these calls to train in that. So excellent. Perfect. So, let me see. I've got all my notes. I mean, really notes and notes and notes. So should we go into our roll call then? Should we see what people are willing to commit to? I love the 4, who are you going to reach out to? How many are you going to connect with? How many overviews would you like to have, and how many enrollments? And then come back around to that when we follow that up and have numbers of what we actually did. So would we like to go into that, Scott?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We've got Troy's on text. Socrates lost somebody. That's a bummer. I'm sorry to hear that. Not sure how to handle that part. So let's go up to the top. Christine is, I think I've shared my numbers. Christine, Socrates, if you can hear me, if you want to unmute and maybe share your numbers, then we'll follow that by Arlene and Teresa. Yes, sir.
All right. So the way I'm going to do it is very, very similar to you. So, my full goals for the week, but I'm going to break it down by 48 hours, because we're going to be doing these calls every 48 hours. So I'm going to break it down to 10. So 10 touches. Out of 10 touches, I'm looking for 2.5, presentations, overviews, and 1 customer. So that's going to be what I'm committing to. I'm also committing to, I've got 2 new people that are working the business or want to work the business. I got to make sure that, I get with them and have them commit to getting promo qualified this week as well. And based on their actions, then maybe plug them into this particular call. But again, for me, this is like an invite only type of situation here. Also, I've got the 3 people that have committed already to also running with me over the next 90 days. That's Diana, Rizwan, who we lost right now, and Brandy, and make sure that I'm there and available for support and to get them to get to the promo qualification as well. So that's it. Wow.
Got it. Good. Thank you. I'm just going down the list. Do we have Abigail on the phone or on the Zoom? Okay. Troy shared his numbers. I'm going to write these down. 10.
I'm sorry, I was muted.
Hey,
I had to grab my phone.
So what are your numbers, you think?
Well, I need two to get promo qualified. So I have two that I'm working on that may or may not get enrolled this week. I have to follow up with them this week. So I will definitely follow up with those two that I've already done overviews with. And then I'd like to reach out to 10 more at least this week. So, and then we'll just leave it at that. I'll reach out to 10.
So 10 reach outs.
Yes.
Of the 10, who do you think, or how many do you think you'll connect with?
Hopefully at least half. So
5. Okay.
Yeah, and then I guess that would probably yield the hopefully at least one enrollment. So that would be.
How many
good.
overviews do you think would be between the 5 contacts and the enrollment?
Probably 3 or 4. It depends on which people I actually get hold of. But yeah, trying to do the math, I know you usually do about half, but we can't do 2.5. So between 2 and 3 maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Overviews.
And then you feel that will result in 1 enrollment?
If I do it right.
All right, very good. What I wrote, thank you for sharing, that was perfect. What I wrote down for Troy was that he's going to reach out to 10, 6 conversations, 2 overviews, and 1 enrollment. Heather, if you want to unmute for a second, what are your thoughts about what your numbers might be for the number of people you want to reach out to, start a new conversation, and those that you'll actually connect with?
Is this by Wednesday or by the end of the week?
By Wednesday morning, next time we reconnect, yes.
Well, I know I already have 1 appointment set for tomorrow.
1 overview?
1 overview. And I want to try to reach out to 5 more, and hopefully schedule 2 more appointments out of those 5.
Okay.
Which would essentially result in 1. Although my history is if I actually get the appointment, they enroll. So, but by the odds, it would be 1.
1 enrollment?
Yep.
Got it. All right, very good. Teresa, if you can hear me, would you unmute and share what your projections are? And Heather, if you can go ahead and mute back out again. Is Teresa on the line? Oh, yeah, there you are. Hey, Teresa.
Hey. Okay, my projection is to reach out to 10, to have 6 connections, 2 to 3 overviews, and enrollment 1. And I already have Wednesday to enroll somebody with an order already in line. And that was from last week. I have also a launch day set at the Wellness Center on the 14th. So there is some new people coming in. I don't know what the numbers are because they haven't registered yet. So by Wednesday, I'll have some more numbers for you. But right now, 10, 6, 2 to 3, and enrollment of 1. And I do have an enrollment coming in on Wednesday. So
nice. That's
my goal.
Nice. Excellent. Perfect. Meg, I don't see that you're on here. Oh, yes. Hey, you. There you are. What are your projections for the number that you're going to reach out to and how many you'll actually connect with and so on?
I feel like pretty much what others have been saying, about 10 to 12 reaches, 6 contacts, 3 or appointments, and 1 or 2 enrollments.
Got it. And Arlene, is Arlene on? Let's see. I don't see Arlene. Okay, we'll skip over to Candace. I don't see Candace. If you there, do a shout out. Kathleen,
I'm
what
here.
are your thoughts? Yeah, hey, there you are. Thank you. Yes.
Hi, Lena B
Hey,
today.
so what are your thoughts?
Okay, this is awesome. I think I have 6 appointments scheduled for today. 3 are phone calls, 2 are overviews, and 1 is a in person with a lady.
All right, so I heard it, but it didn't register. I apologize. So
Okay.
run those by me again.
I have 6 appointments scheduled for today.
And they are broken down
so
by
3 are phone calls. 2
phone
are
calls for like a reach out or an overview.
these are they've already seen like the first couple videos, so it's to get them to schedule an overview or have them listen to the overview over the phone.
Okay, good.
And same with the next 2. The next 2 are definitely scheduled to hear an overview over the phone. My husband's in Russia, so I'm not able to use laptop to do the webinar one, which I've been loving doing that, but I'm just going to get in the habit of just, hey, I'm going to shoot you a video right now and put your phone on
All right,
speaker,
so let me
hit
pause
play.
for a second. Let me hit pause for a second because I want to make sure I understand. So the 3 that you have that you're reaching out to, those are like in process. They're not yet scheduled overviews. You've already popped the qualifying question. So that would be like a follow through thing. Is that what you're suggesting?
The one this morning is she's seen the videos, and she was also a Melaleuca customer in the past. So
Seen the videos as in the intro videos? I'm just trying to understand the jargon. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right.
And
So,
I'm hoping
and of
to
the
get
3
her.
that have seen those intro videos, how many of those 3 do you think might be schedulable for an overview?
I'm planning on all of them.
Okay. So what I'm going to write
I
down then is 5 overviews between now and Wednesday morning. Is that cool?
Absolutely. Yeah. Because I'm
Yeah.
shooting
All right,
to
good.
have 6 today.
So should I change it to 6?
Go for it.
Okay. How many new people do you think you'll reach out to between now and Wednesday morning? What would be your projection for new opening conversations?
I'm super packed right these next 2 days, so I'm gonna say low. I'm gonna go for 6.
Good. And of those 6 new attempts, how many folks do you think you'll actually connect with?
At least 3.
Okay. And of the 6 overviews that I've got listed down here, about how many new enrollments do you think you'll have either already projected or as a result of that between now and Wednesday morning?
Well, those 6 enrollments are actually, those 6 overviews are today. So tomorrow I have 2 more scheduled. So as far as enrollments, I don't know. Boy, I'm love to have at least 3 more in the next 48 hours.
Very good. So what I'm writing down is 6 reach outs, 3 contacts, 8 overviews, and 3 enrollments.
Yeah.
Does that sound right? Okay, very good. Excellent. Okay, so Lena, you had mentioned, so let's go ahead and go there. And then you had mentioned that you've got Jen on for the first time and Diane is on. If you guys want to jump in on this as well, if you feel that you want to lay out some projections. Lena, if you want to unmute, we'll go ahead and start with you if you'd like. Oh, no, wait a second.
Yeah, I think
Lena
Jen
B,
had to
that's
jump
you,
off.
Arlene.
Yeah. I think Jen had to jump off, right? But Diane,
Okay.
are you there?
Yes, she had to jump off.
Okay.
Okay.
Diane.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm really new at this. I'm going to try to reach out as much as possible. I'm going to say at least 8 because I have some time this week and I really haven't had a lot of time, but I'm going to work hard this week, at least by Wednesday, reach out to 8 people. And I know I'm supposed to get with Socrates and maybe work with him a little bit on this. hopefully have a few connections, and as far as it works, I don't know, overviews. Somebody's got to guide me here. So I plan on getting 2 at least. I hope. I'm praying.
And there it is. And there it is. Very good. So what I'm writing down is that you'll reach out to 8. Hopefully 4 of those will turn into a conversation that may result in 2 extended conversations or overviews, and that you're going to work with SOC to iron out the details.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Excellent. That sounds very achievable. Okay. Who else do we have here? Candace, Christy, Rizwan, Brandy. Are any of those on? Oh, Brandy, I see you. Are either of the other 3 on? If not, we'll go ahead and jump right to you, Brandy, if you'd like.
I'm here.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. So I have a very aggressive plan for the next 2 days. I'm actually taking the next 2 days off of my regular job to focus on this, because this is what I really want to do full time. So my plan is to reach out to 40 people, 20 today, 20 tomorrow. My expectation is that I can get at least 10 of those people on an overview, and 4 to 5 of them signed up.
Got it. So we're going to skip
Go, Brandy.
the
Woo!
reach out to overview with regards to contacts, and just go from 40 reach outs to 10 overviews, 4 to 5 enrollments.
That's it.
Sounds good. Excellent. All right. Very good. Kathleen, you want to share what your projection is for the next couple of days, and then I'll just run my numbers again, and then we can start to wrap up.
Yes. I would like to reach out to 20. I would like to connect with 10. At least 5 overviews, resulting in at least 1 enrollment.
Got it. 20, 10, 5, and 1. Super. And mine again that I wrote down were 20, 6, 3, and 1. Yeah. All right. Very good. Excellent. I think we're making progress. Marsha's on vacation, told me she has 7 appointments for next week from the 18 reach outs. Excellent. We'll make note of that. 20. Very good. Excellent. Socrates, appreciate the update. I think we're making good progress. Okay, good. If there's any questions, any issues, any discussions, any stories, any follow-up stuff, get with somebody on your support team. This has been a great call. I'm sensitive to the time. It's 21 after the hour. Thank you, everybody. This has been I think it's been an awesome turn. I think we're making great progress. I'm really pleased. I'm really proud of you guys. This is a good thing. All right. And if there's anything else that pops up, just let us know. Give us a shout out, and we will look forward to absolutely staying in touch. Hope you guys have an awesome day. Absolutely look forward to reconnecting again Wednesday morning, and have a blessed day. Love you guys. Appreciate you. All right.